compliment, not a complaint, just a quick compliment. Look at this. Somebody's actually run the wire with a corrugated split tubing with plenty of zip ties across there. Nice and neat for once. Bloody beautiful. Look, one step to make it better. Once you cut them off, just push that end around. I'm not going to do it, but push it around the back so you can't see it. Then all you see is a zip tie. Look, I did one. See what I mean? Just looks nice and neat. Anyway, compliment. Nice work, whoever did this. Wiring install. I like it.
Bada bing, bada boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Bada bing,
Hey guys, we've just done an injector replacement on this one, and we're just going to show you roughly how long it takes for the engine to start and the sort of noises sometimes it might make, or if it blows a bit of smoke. Let's go for it. No smoke. So we're just here doing another set of injectors, and I just want to point out that this is completely unnecessary, all this blackness, okay? No excuse. The diesel oil's got cleaners in it that if you do regular oil changes, it will clean up the engine. It's not one oil change that's done this. This is a lack of oil changes over time, and obviously it's a quite a dirty job to work on under the in the fuel system with everything being dirty and black like that. So the best thing you can do to look after your diesel engine is regular oil changes. And obviously once you get that soot problem sorted out, it'll get cleaner. We still recommend 5,000k oil changes for this reason. You can do 10 if you like. Recommend 5, that's what I do. Just quite filthy, unnecessary, so you might want to just see that so you're aware of the situation. If you're not changing your oil regularly, this is what it ends up looking like. This is one way to check it out. Let the parks vehicle come across first. That is an awesomely sick river crossing. Lovely work. Really important video for any DIYs, mechanics, technicians, diesel fitters, anyone in the trade, because you may or may not have come across this. Very important information. I'm going to let you know how to deal with it. You can deal with it. It's not a problem. You don't need to go and have a panic attack. The situation is, as I've mentioned in our videos, over time they have made changes to injectors and manufacturing, and one of those changes is, and this is one of the top reasons why you want brand new genuine injectors. Only a couple of years ago, I can't remember the month and year off the top of my head at the moment, they did make the injector bodies a bit bigger, okay? So they fit in the ports a bit better, so instead of being sloppy, and when you torque them down they bend, they have got less chance they're going to bend, or they can't bend as far, if you know what I mean. So the problem with that is, I would assume before they made the injectors bigger, they probably went and measured, using specialized equipment, whatever you call it, measured the ports on the head, where the injectors go. But they may have measured hundreds or maybe even thousands, I don't know, and they said, well, they probably went, well, let's make the injectors so it fits into the smallest hole. Problem is, when you deal with thousands or tens of thousands of these, eventually now and then you're going to find one that the port in the head is the variable, and it's going to be a tiny bit smaller again, which means every now and then you do get an injector that fits. It's a really tight fit. It'll seem almost impossible to get in. Now, just set these ones in place. All right, it's a Prado, so you got the wiring loom you're dealing with. It's not about that at the moment. It's just, sort of 1 went in okay, 2 was tight. They were all a bit tight, and 4 was pretty tight as well. Now, so what do? Well, a couple of things you can do. You place it in, you give it a gentle push, not on the plastic. I suggest you use on the solenoid here, is about the only place you can get a decent grip, and literally 2 fingers like that and your thumb over this side pushing on the solenoid, while your other hand, your right hand, gently twist the injector back and forwards. A bit like when, if you've seen our videos getting the stuck injectors out, similar to that, but obviously a lot lighter duty than that usually. This one was probably one of the hardest ones we've come across, which is why I thought I'll do a separate video, and it's part of a video that's got a number of little tips in it that I've put out. But anyway, whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is, what do? So you can start putting it in, take it out, see where the rub mark is. You can sort of put a bit of lubrication on it, the moly coat again. You can go in again, it might go a bit further each time, pull it out, see where the marks are. Make sure you got it lubed up, may be helpful. Generally, we haven't had a circuit. We go through a lot of injectors, right? What we install plus what we sell. And we haven't had anyone yet that said, oh, I cannot get these injectors in. And I can tell you, you know, we've tried all these different 4 injectors in number 2 port, right? Because sometimes the injectors do vary a little bit as well. And I can tell you the consistency of the injector body was awesome because they were all a very tight fit in number 2. So number 2 in the head was the hole that was a bit smaller. But basically you can see it's generally in there. Now there's a couple of precautions as well. So you can see at number 1 by the height. At the moment it's sitting, I reckon number 2 port might be up just a little bit still. Now we've got a couple of problems this causes. It does cause a couple of problems. One is injector alignment, because you can't twist the injector loosely, right? I'll just sort of get over there a bit and try and show you what I mean. So number 1, right, I'll just put that wiring in there for a minute. Number 1, right, you can see we can go like that, move the injector to get the alignment where we want it. I'm not going to go too much into detail, that's in other videos, mainly in the VIP group, in the long detailed videos. See this one? It's rock solid, it's not moving, right? So you could say we've got a bit of a problem because it's such a tight fit at the moment, at least until it goes all the way down. It may go down another millimetre. I haven't done a full check yet. I'm just like, you know what, I need to do a video and help these guys out, because if they come across this, you need to know what to do and you need to be aware of the issues. So the alignment's going to be hard. This is where you've got to align it by eye and do our alignment check using the valve cover. I'm pretty sure we've got a video on YouTube, even public, you know, it might be called how to align the injector or how to check the injector alignment or something like that. So you need to do that to make sure you got it right, because that is just not going to move freely and align using the fuel return line like it normally does. Okay, so that's your first problem. Double check your alignment. The next one is, because you've got such a great resistance on the injector body to the head, how do you know? Now, they're meant to be 22 Newton meters on those bolts. How do you know that you've got the required pressure on the seat of the injector? Because you don't. And this is, I suppose, where it's a bit of a problem, really. What can you do? You can send the injectors back and get more, but you probably have the same problem, because the consistency of the injectors is good. It's not a problem with the injectors, so don't waste your time doing that. It's a problem with the head. So if you want to be an absolute perfectionist, you kind of need to take the head off, maybe, or you could clean and hone out the alloy of the head. There you go. That's what you could do. You could get a honing tool and hone out some of the alloy of the head, but that could make a bit of mess and go down the hole. And that's where my first thought was, you know, take the head off. You could do that and get that machined out, but then you'd want to take the smallest amount off, otherwise you're defeating the purpose of the whole reason why they were made, to fit a bit more tightly anyway. So what we do is, we'll get it down, and it's kind of like, look, what I've said is, you know, lucky I'm talking these down, and you're going to use the experience of doing hundreds or thousands of these, and it's kind of, a lot of it's got to go by feel. It's got to feel right as well as what the torque wrench says, because there could be quite a number of Newton meters that is resistance, the injector to the head. Okay, so just keep that in mind, guys. If you're doing one of these, you may need to add a few more Newton meters, right? Or you may need to, if you're not happy, take it back out again. Have a look at where it's tight on the injector. It wouldn't hurt for you to use some wet and dry and clean the, sort of like rub back the injector. You know, it might sound dodgy, but you know, I've explained the problem we're dealing with, right? So you can do that to the injector, or you could do it to the head. You could just use a bit of wet and dry and just polish up the ports inside that head there, and make sure you've got enough clearance to get them to fit down. That would probably be wise. Okay, so we're just going to join this up with a couple other videos anyway, just possibly they started first, and there may be some other tips as well. Anyway, like always, if you haven't subscribed, time to do that. Turn the bell on so you don't miss the next important video, and bada bing. Alright guys, here we are. We're just about to start the engine on another one. We've just done injector replacement, and just for your information on how long it'll take to start, somebody on the last one said, oh yeah, but I pumped mine up. Well, we pump it up for the last hour or two while we're putting the car back together, and therefore it should be pumped up. We're actually, this time you can see the hand pumping it the whole time. All right, go for it. smoke. No smoke coming out of that one either. Beautiful. Some quick random feedback again on the power these fridges use and the Century dual force battery. Just take a quick look there, 11.9 volts. I'll give you the how long it's been running, guys. It's been running 96 hours basically. Right now, okay, so the last time this vehicle was driven, okay, Friday about 8 p.m. we got home, okay. Hasn't been charged. It hasn't been driven since, except for, there's an except for, has been driven one other time, okay? So other than, and I did a little short video, I can't remember where I put it, whatever, it was a 30-second thing, I just dropped it on one of our Facebook groups. But anyway, just want to provide you some feedback. This is a mixed video of all sorts of different things. The only fridge we've got running is not the top one, so we have not got the 30-litre Waeco on. You can see the temperature there, 25 degrees. We have got the 20-litre. You can see set on it's about 5 degrees in there, ballpark, right? It's been driven for 8 kilometers, guys. So on Friday, Friday it got parked and it sat here for Saturday, Sunday afternoon about 5 o'clock, roughly. We did a 4K trip that took 5 minutes, switched it off. And then about half an hour later, we did a 4K trip home again, switched it off, 5 minutes. So 10 minutes driving in 96 hours, running a 20-litre Waeco draw fridge, Waeco, Dometic, what do you call it, whatever, right? Just to let you know, so people know real information. The battery started off fully charged, right? On Friday it was charged, it was driven, fully charged. It's now Tuesday afternoon around 8 p.m. So dead set, 96 hours, other than a total of 10 minutes driving like you got firewood once in 4 days. And the Century dual force 90 amp hour is on 11.9 volts. So I'm happy with the battery. I'm happy with what that fridge uses. If you like this video, be subscribed on Ford Before Touring Australia, because we're going to do some more testing showing what the dual force can do and what the combination 50 litres, 20 plus 30, what it uses on the battery to help you decide what sort of batteries, what size batteries you need and stuff like that. This is just a random bunch of videos we put together. Hope you liked it. Please remember to give us the thumbs up and subscribe, turn the bell on both of our YouTube channels. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.